Well, our Chicago Cubs go on a road trip, play 6 games over on the West Coast, and they come back 3-3 with a 19-12 record. We got some good news. We also got some bad news. We got a bunch to talk about. I can't wait to get to it. Let's do it. But first, I got to hit you guys with that intro. Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, your number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs. I'm your host, Mike Jones. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe so that you never miss any of the action right here on Chicago Cubs Central. Thank you all so much. Shout out to everybody on Spotify, everybody on X, everybody that is watching on Apple, as well as Twitch. Thank you all. And of course, everybody on YouTube, love you guys so much. C3 fam, you guys are what make this channel what it is. Now, with that being said, the Chicago Cubs do go ahead and take another victory against the San Diego Padres, this time beating them Wednesday afternoon in a great matchup that I thought really showed the grit and the gutsiness and the toughness of the Chicago Cubs team. Now, the Chicago Cubs in this game literally started off with Miguel Amaya hitting a single to score Michael Conforto, who was in the game, instead of giving Seiya Suzuki the day off. That's 2 days rest for Seiya as we prepare to play the Diamondbacks starting Friday in Wrigley. But anyways, the perfect part about this is, the Chicago Cubs go into the first inning and you're facing basically somebody that's coming out of the bullpen. Gosh, what's dude's name? I'm messing it up now. The pitcher for Waldron, the pitcher Waldron for the Padres, who basically has not pitched that much, but is able to come into this game and in the first inning load the bases, but the Chicago Cubs come out empty after that. So you figure, oh, here we go again. Chicago Cubs not being able to score, right? Wrong. The Chicago Cubs have Miguel Amaya come up in the second. He gets the scoring started for the team. Scoring Conforto. All is quiet after that until the fourth, with Pete Crow Armstrong homers again. Back-to-back games, Pete Crow Armstrong homering. That's one thing that you like to see. You like to see Pete being patient at the plate, waiting on the right pitch, and then driving that pitch out. And that's what we saw in today's game as well as Tuesday night's game. Both games the Chicago Cubs won. With that being said, then you get a little bit worried in the fifth inning as Jameson Taillon's cruising along in this game, y'all. The first 4 innings, dude looked unhittable. It was amazing to see. He had his best stuff going today, but he does make a mistake, leave a breaking ball up high, and Andujar knocks the cover off that ball, sends it out there to left field, second deck of left field at Petco Park, and knocks that ball completely out of the ballpark. And that gives the Padres their first run, their first hit of the game. And then after that, he walks Cronenworth, and then Castellanos comes and ties the game 3-3 with a home run, his first home run as a Padre. He looked very excited about that, BT Dub. Then after that, you go into the 6th inning, and the Chicago Cubs get guys in scoring position again. And Michael Conforto scores on a ground out by PCA. So the Cubs go back up 4-3. And then Matt Shaw in the 8th inning collects another home run, this time out to left field, 351 feet. It was a cheapie. It just cleared it. But he does get it out of the park. And the Chicago Cubs go up 5-3. They would need every single last run in this game as the Chicago Cubs would face what was certain to be a very bad inning, or shaping up to be a bad 8th inning for them. Corbin Martin comes into the game, starts the 8th inning, and guys, he walked 3 consecutive batters, and it looked like the Chicago Cubs were about to lose it all. The Padres do go ahead and get 1 run back, making it 5-4. But then Ben Brown is able to get the double play from Manny Machado and get 2 outs and save the Chicago Cubs from allowing the Padres to score that 5th run to tie the game up. And the Chicago Cubs bring in Hobie Milner. They allow Ben Brown to pitch 1 2/3. And then for the last final out of the game, Hobie Milner gets that out. And the Chicago Cubs with a gutsy performance. I'm so impressed with how gutsy a performance this was for this team, how they were just able to fight back and to continue to show you what they could do as a squad in this game. There were multiple times in this game where the Chicago Cubs could have packed it in and said, it's not our day. Padres are they're at home. They're probably going to get a walk-off or something like that. Or, we like I said, we don't really need this game like that. We can just pack it in. We'll see them again, at Wrigley, and we'll get the wins there. But no, the Chicago Cubs took care of business in this game. And I'm very, very impressed with 2 people I have to give a shout out to. Your 2 pick to perform players of the game in this one. Jameson Taillon went 7 innings. Listen, your bullpen is depleted, and there is no sign of any help coming soon. So when you can get your guy, your starter, to go 7 innings, he's now the 3rd Cub pitcher to go 7 innings. The other being Shota Imanaga and Edward Cabrera. Both, all 3 of these pitchers this season have went 7 strong innings. For Taillon, he allowed 3 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts on 95 pitches, 66 of those being strikes. That ERA is 4.41. I mean, what else can you say? You just got to be impressed with the fact that he was able to come and bring this to you today as a Chicago Cubs team, knowing that you guys needed a strong outing out of him. And you had a depleted bullpen, and you just did not want to have to use that bullpen if you didn't have to. And he carried the Chicago Cubs for majority of this game, just literally crossing up, striking out, or getting flyouts on a lot of those Padres hitters. And then your second pick to perform player of the game, Ben Brown. I tweeted at Cody Delmindo as the game was going on, and I was after Ben Brown got us out of that bases loaded jam with only allowing 1 run. I tweeted at Cody, and I said, you know what? That was a heck of a performance right there. And then I said, I'll do it. Thank you, Ben Brown. Because literally, Cody Martin could not find the strike zone to save his life. He walked 3 batters. And Ben Brown came into the game, limited the damage, only gave up one run, was able to get Machado to hit into a double play, saving the Chicago Cubs any further damage. And then to come back in the 9th inning and get 2 more big outs, and then to be able to hand the ball over to Hobie Milner. Listen, a lot's been said about Ben Brown. A lot of it's warranted, too. There have been inconsistencies with him. But there is no doubt that the Chicago Cubs lose this game if Ben Brown doesn't come through like he did. Ben Brown was a major piece in this Chicago Cubs victory. And he is a major piece of that bullpen. When his stuff is right, Ben Brown is damn near unhittable. And he's showing you what he's capable of bringing to this club. Just got to keep him healthy and keep him in the zone. And I think the Chicago Cubs are going to be very impressed and very surprised with what they get from Ben Brown. So that's my thoughts on that. Again, like I said, the Chicago Cubs show up big. They right now sit at 19-12. A year ago, 31 games into the season, the 2025 Chicago Cubs were 18-13. This year, the 2026 Cubs are actually 1 game better than those Cubs. And dare say, these Cubs probably played harder teams, but than that 2025 team did at this part of the season. So be very, very impressed with your squad. You have a depleted roster of pitchers right now. I mean, you got more pitchers on the IL than you do pitchers actually being able to come into your bullpen. So it's just one of those things where you're impressed and you feel very, very good about what this Chicago Cubs team just accomplished on that West Coast trip. Now you're going to see a Arizona Dodgers. Wow, you're going to see an Arizona Diamondbacks team for your next 3 games. So we open up the month of May going up against those Arizona Diamondbacks. May 1st, it's going to be the Chicago Cubs versus the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks do have a winning record. Also, they are 15-13 coming into this series against the Cubs. The Cubs, again, like I said, are 19-12. So, like I said, you should absolutely look to take this series. You got Colin Ray coming out pitching on Friday. He will be pitching for the Chicago Cubs. Then you got on Saturday, Shota Imanaga pitching for the Chicago Cubs. It's supposed to be very, very cold this weekend here in Chicago. The wind for the wind blowing out, all the rain. So like I said, it's perfect pitching weather for contact pitchers. So you got 3 contact pitchers pitching in Shota Imanaga, Matthew Boyd, and Colin Ray for this weekend, going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what the Diamondbacks are able to accomplish and what the Chicago Cubs can do against them this weekend. Like I said, we'll just have to see. But hopefully the Chicago Cubs can take these games and take this series as they head Monday into a very important series with the Cincinnati Reds, who are 19-10 as we sit here on Wednesday. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how the Chicago Cubs fare against those guys. You play literally the Chicago Cubs after Thursday do not have another day off until Monday the 11th. The Chicago Cubs will literally play they'll welcome home the Arizona Diamondbacks. Then they will welcome in the Cincinnati Reds. Then after that, are they going to Texas or is Texas coming to them? Let me see. Let me check real quick. Then after that, we're headed out to Texas to play the Rangers. And then we got to face those damn Atlanta Braves, which I'm not looking forward to that at all. The Atlanta Braves are a really, really, really good baseball team. So playing their best baseball right now, and it's tough. But the Chicago Cubs are tougher. And I believe that. I believe that about my squad. They showed a lot of guts. So, again, we will see what happens there. Then, of course, we got to talk about Justin Steele. Justin Steele had this to say, guys, on social media. And he said, well, this is obviously frustrating on many levels. It's hard to put into words the emotions and mental state that something like this can leave you in, nor do I want to really. I just know I have given 100% and have done everything that's been asked of me. And at the end of the day, that's all I can do. But some things just can't be explained. For a lack of better term, shit just happens sometimes. In the same breath, I also know I am one of the best pitchers on this planet, and I will get back to that and even better. There has never been a backup plan. It's always been baseball, and it will remain that way. God hasn't dealt me anything I can't handle. God saves his toughest battles for his strongest soldiers. God and his son, Jesus Christ, have my back. And at the end of the day, that's all I need. I also want to say thank you to everyone who has shown their concern and have reached out. It really means more than you know. Truly a blessing to have the support. Justin Steele, it was announced, was having basically having concerns with his basically faced a setback in his recovery and has been shut down for the time being. Jesse Rogers of ESPN was the one to announce this one. Steele hasn't pitched since last April after undergoing elbow surgery and was eligible to come off the IL around Memorial Day, but now it does not seem likely. With reports coming out that Justin Steele more than likely will end up probably not pitching until after All-Star break. So again, just unfortunate for Justin. I tweeted out at him just my support, and like I said, and prayers to him, because that's not something you want to go through. He's a gamer. He's somebody that takes this shit really serious, and he wants to be the best out there, and he wants to help this Cub team win. And I appreciate and respect all of that. So get well soon, Justin. Feel better, man. Hopefully, like I said, we can get you on the right track, and you'll be able to come back better than ever. So That's my episode for today, man. But I definitely didn't forget y'all. I never will forget. You already know what we got to do every single time the Chicago Cubs win. We fly the W right here on Chicago Cubs Central. Fly that W. That's right. I appreciate you guys so much. Hey, give me your thoughts first and foremost on Justin Steele. What do you think the Chicago Cubs should do now? Do you think the Chicago Cubs should go out and sign another pitcher, somebody else, or are you okay with who we have right now? Also, what are your guys' thoughts on Jameson, Taillon, and Ben Brown, both showing up huge for the Chicago Cubs in the win against San Diego today? And then last but not least, the Chicago Cubs are 19-12 on the season. Give your thoughts on all of this and more. Comment below. Make sure that you guys like, share, and subscribe so that you never miss an episode of Chicago Cubs Central. Until next time, go Cubs go. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.